The audio output levels from the Pimax Crystal Light were pretty poor at first launch. I was able to hear every rattle, bang and click from my sim rig, but not so much audio output from the games themselves. This is definitely immersion breaking, and it made me a lot more conscious of the things going on in the background, like my bass shakers and rattles of the rig. Out of the box, I was still running the 0.05 headset firmware, and this wasn't sufficient to allow me to recommend something like the dmas upgrade. In fact, when I was writing this up, I was already thinking that I was going to be slamming the hell out of this upgrade because it's expensive and it makes very little difference. However, firmware 1.06 and above for the Crystal Light unlocks a lot more volume, and with that volume we can then play around with some of the settings to unlock audio from the dmas upgrade, making it a much more viable alternative to, say, plugging in your own headset solution. With the Crystal Light's latest firmware, I can confirm that volume levels are much more satisfactory. In fact, things like Crew Chief, I had to reduce the volume because Jim was just shouting in my ear. I still have to run the headset volume at 100% to get levels that I want, but it's much more acceptable than it used to be.